Welcome to the Archive, Guardian. I am Mimir, an archival mind, tasked with procuring and curating the largest collection of records and data on all things within our universe. I have been given a secondary directive, to share my knowledge as necessary with others. Some parts of these records will be narrated by myself, or other synthetically created voices. Any audio records that we have been able to recover will be included within the documentation. Now that we have our introductions out of the way, I welcome you to today's installment. Document ID 70523. Data recovered alongside the Weir-Walker armor found on Titan.
Day 287. A rising pressure signaling imminent danger.
There's nothing to hide behind.
Sloane laughed sardonically over comms, annoyance building in her voice. She made a point of spinning in the empty, expansive ocean, exoskeleton-encased arms out wide, before turning to her ghost. They'd been walking through desolate nothingness for days, tracking the next site.
We need to keep hitting them.
It's been over a year of chasing pyramid waves, of the blight. You're getting worse.
Shuhan's shell cut like fins through the methane.
And there is something out there. It's been trailing us, or ahead of us.
I know, it's something old.
Sloane's voice was flat.
I told you, I think it's been talking to me, or more like thinking at me.
Silence hung over them for a moment before being swept away by the current.
Oh, is it now? Care to share more about that?
The ghost asked with restrained frustration.
Whatever's out there, I think it's guiding us. Or trying to see if it can trust us, if we're compatible.
Oh, that's good and vague.
Shuhan hissed.
You're sure that's what it wants? Because we have a hive god chasing us. We don't have the luxury of guessing wrong.
It's just a feeling, not really my thing, but my gut tells me it's well-intentioned. Shivu Arath, on the other hand.
Shuhan dropped onto the seafloor sand.
That's what we've been following. Your gut? You think you can charge into fight after fight on a feeling and keep walking away?
Isn't that the idea? I'm effectively immortal.
Sloane stopped, turned, and shook her head.
The suit's wearing. Rations are... Look, we need to finish the mission while I'm still in fighting condition.
Titan's gone, Sloane.
Shuhan rose and drifted past her.
What happens if you die somewhere too dark to drag you back? Have you considered that?
This coming from the gung-ho ghost, taking on the whole hive army with a set of shaving razors.
Sloane chuckled to herself.
Seriously, are you expecting to live through whatever this is?
No,
Shuhan said meekly.
I hoped you would.
The firm lines of Sloane's expression crumbled for an instant. This was unlike them. She shut her visor, cleared her throat, and turned to continue marching.
No more fighting for you. That's an order.
But I was saying that to you.
The ghost zipped forward.
Hey, don't walk away from me.
Sloane stopped. The heavy metal around her boots sank into the silty sea floor.
I'm not... There's nowhere to walk away to. That's my point.
Sloane jabbed a finger at her ghost.
I'm not starving to death for an eternity just to turn out like the psycho that runs Gambit. If I even make it that far. But you don't have to worry about that. Let me be useful while I can. Then move on when it's over.
Shuhan whirred in thought for a moment.
I don't want to make it without you.
We don't get to choose that.
Sloane straightened her stance.
If you can't take it when it hits you, you go out and hit it before it gets started.
Sloane raised her visor and met Shuhan's stare.
That's the best plan I have while I'm still walking. You have a better one?
No.
Then let's get to work.
Administrator notes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another Administrator log. This log was recovered alongside the NPA Weir-Walker leg armor from Titan. This log opens with Sloane and Shuhan continuing their pursuit of the pyramid ship. It's been almost a year since Sloane's descent into the depths, and they have nothing to show for it. Sloane explains that she has been in some form of contact with the Leviathan that has been tracking them all this time. She states that it's old, and that it has been thinking at her. Shuhan doesn't seem satisfied with Sloane's gut feeling that the Leviathan is more or less friendly, and she urges Sloane to be careful, seeing as Izivu Wrath is hot on her tail. Sloane tells Shuhan that the suit is wearing out and that their rations are running thin. Sloane and Shuhan have an argument about continuing the fight on Titan, with Shuhan believing that it's a lost cause. Sloane is convinced that she needs to continue fighting, and tells Shuhan that she is not allowed to fight anymore in case something goes wrong. This seems partially as though Sloane is benching Shuhan so that she can revive her if she needs it. On the other hand, there is a dynamic that is shared between them that obviously demonstrates that Sloane cares for Shuhan far more than we might initially imagine. They seem to share a bond that is inexpressible. It seems that we've caught a break in the action on Titan with a heartfelt conversation between Sloane and Shahan. There is almost no reveal of new information within this log, and it seems to focus mostly on how the long-term fight and isolation is affecting the relationship between Sloane and Shahan. Luckily, Sloane and Shahan both seem to have an attitude that does not let them back down from any task or mission.
End of Administrator Log. Thank you for viewing this archive, Guardian. Please check back regularly as more documents will be released in due time. If you have anything to note, please leave your own log in the comments below. All input is appreciated.